Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to that place we are instead of Nelforge, the West Road Gateway. At the moment, the party is exploring an underground, well, calling it a tomb doesn't seem quite right, as it's had an antechamber, an embalming room, and its own church. And now they've gotten through what we could call the Scrabble room, and actually, the best thing to do would be to explain the situation. They had just come into a room. They came in from the west. There was a door to the north that had been busted through. Heavy door, too. Iron banded wood and such, and just sort of smashed into flinders into the corridor beyond. There was a little rack next to the door, and they found a few tiles on the floor. It was something the wizard said that also fulfilled a requirement, and there was a snap in the east wall as a secret door opened.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. Possibly more of an ooh-wee-ee-ooh moment as woo!
Yep.
Yeah, for certain reasons, the barbarian, sorcerer, and paladin are currently out, leaving the wizard, druid, bard, and ranger. So, like I said, this is not necessarily going to be a very combat-heavy session. But I'm sure we'll still have fun. What y'all's doing?
I stepped through.
Okay, you're stepping through into the secret passage.
Well, look at the motivations on my character sheet. It says, "Screw the danger. I needs more lore."
Okay, so Thagak and Warren are both going through those doors, leaving the wizard and druid to back them up.
Yeah, we are following, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to know what's inside here.
Okay.
My flaw, actually.
Learning is our vocation.
It's less of a flaw and more of an opportunity. It was a little 15 by 15 room that this occurred in, and then you take the passage to the east, a little 5-foot wide thing that goes on 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet, no end in sight yet. 60 feet, okay, there's an end in sight. 70, 80, about 90 feet.
And
turns left.
To the north.
To the north, yes.
Right.
There it goes 10, 20, 35 or so feet and ends at a door.
Another door.
Well, I say door. It's kind of peculiar that way because it looks like the wall surface that you've been seeing all the way up through here, but but there are obvious hinges and a latching mechanism on your side. It looks like you've come to the back of a secret door.
Ah, so it's secret from the other side.
Yes.
Designed to be hard to see and open from the other side, but from this side, simple.
Mm-hmm.
So we can surprise someone. Maybe.
You might be able to if there's someone on the other side. Also, on this side, you can see that there is a lever sort of attached to a brick up toward the top of the thing. So if you can reach the brick up there, you can open the secret door. You can open the secret door from that side.
Let's see. I think Argyle could probably reach it, but I better take a look.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you don't really have to worry about reaching up and hitting a particular brick, because all you have to do is pull on the handle on this side.
Ka-chunk.
But if you're going to come back through that door from if you're going to come back through this door from that side, you need to hit that brick.
Oh, I see. Oh, the brick is a hidden switch on the other side.
Right.
Right. But now we can see where we'll be able to tell where the brick is perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll always be able to come back.
Right.
Okay, so shall we, folks?
Let's open.
We're not getting any younger.
And you open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from here.
It swings open soundlessly.
It does swing open soundlessly. It is a well-balanced door on hinges and a cantilever. It's secured a few ways, so it just doesn't bob up and down. You don't want your secret doors to be too loose in their fittings.
Right.
And this opens up into another intersection. You have a 10-foot wide corridor going to the west and a 5-foot wide corridor going to the north. To your left, to the west, you can hear some crackling, and something smells bad out that way.
Is it like flame? Crackling? Is that fire or something else crackling?
It's something else. It's something else crackling.
So someone's eating Rice Krispies. Okay.
Yeah, let's call it that.
Hmm.
Either that or somebody's crunching up some bones. I quietly draw the long sword and I look around at everybody and try and get some opinions.
Okay, looking at the map, it's only about 5 feet before that room begins. So, yeah, I'm not gonna hide this from you. You can see what is making all that noise.
Okay.
You have a light stone brickwork on either wall, and a sort of a darker toned stone on the floor and ceilings.
Right.
Of the corridors in general. But in that very long room to your left, same brickwork on either, same light brickwork on either side, but the floor and ceiling appear to be metallic. The floor is broken up by various little pyramid shapes sticking up 1 or 2 feet, and the ceiling appears to be knives.
Oh.
There are a few scorched shapes laying about on the floor, and there are occasional crackles of electricity going from the ceiling to the floor or to one of those shapes on the floor.
Right, the pyramid shapes are acting as lightning rods to conduct the lightning bolts that are coming down.
Right.
And something smells charred. Right?
Yeah, there are numerous shapes on the floor there that look like the sort of thing you had been fighting to get in here.
So fish monsters came into this room, and it turns out to be an electrical killing floor.
Yes.
Wow. We walked into the middle of something.
Kind of, yeah. And down at the very end of the room, well, it's kind of hard to see which way the corridor goes from there, but it also goes to the north.
Right. Well, does anyone have protection from lightning? I don't want to get in the middle of that. But we should at least see if we can spot a leader or something.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it will be magical. So I will make a ritual for detect magic and see if I can find. If I can find out where it comes from and how it is triggered. Maybe there are some trigger mechanisms or some wherever someone has to go and then it is started. So if
Actually, it would make sense to do that. You cast Detect Magic, and for the distance that you can sense down that electrified hallway, yeah, magic on both sides, above and below. And a slight hint of something to the north about 5 feet. That hint is low on the floor.
Okay. How far away is it?
It's about 5 feet away.
5 feet away.
It's about maybe a third row of bricks off the floor.
And we can reach it before we trigger the electricity.
Yeah, this brick is up the north hallway, not the west hallway.
Ah, maybe that deactivates the trap.
Maybe. Only one way to find out, though.
Mm-hmm. Do you press the shiny red button?
Yeah.
Maybe calling it a shiny red button is prejudicing you against it, but a bit late for that.
It looks like a shiny red button.
Well, it looks like a shiny red button to anyone with detect magic. To anyone else, it looks like a brick.
Okay, so we have to think about it. Here, this brick here seems to be something like a trigger or a mechanism to deactivate the trap, but I'm not sure.
Well, let's try it.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
And again, screw the danger. I needs more lore.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so Thagak has hit the brick, and the crackling in that room to the west subsides.
Ha!
So
You're a hero.
now we can go in and have a look.
Mm-hmm.
See what's what. See if any of them are still alive. And since they're evil monsters, we can see if any of them still alive, so we can fix that.
Okay, given the state of charring, they're not gonna have much loot, and you're not gonna have much life because, well, it's been shocked out of them repeatedly.
Yes.
Yeah, given the state of charring, you'd have to say no on the life part. A few odd coins, and that's about it. Just a couple of copper pieces. Call it about 16 to 20. And to the end of the hallway, you can see it turns left to the south.
Right.
Okay.
To where you can see a broken door.
Now, which
door.
Which way did they come in? Did they come in the same way we're coming in, or were they traveling in the opposite direction to the way we are? Oh,
okay.
They broke in the door, didn't they?
They broke in the door.
They broke in the door and
They came from that end.
Got baked. And we evaded that part, and then we went there and walked it anyway.
You walked it anyway, but you walked it under safer conditions.
Okay, but so this is not the direction to go, because this is circling back. Okay. So let's turn around and take the other direction.
Okay. Going back to the east to the other intersection with the secret door you know about, and then going north some more?
Yes.
And now that we know what that other secret door trigger opening looked like, maybe
you can go back through that way.
Yeah, maybe we should reactivate the thingy so nobody can follow us and come at our backs.
Right. Yeah, if there's a switch that turns it back on the other side of the room.
Yeah, no, we were on that side of the room where we switched it off, so we can go there and switch it on again and have our back protected.
Uh-huh.
So when we all are back at the intersection, we can switch on the electricity. And yeah, leave it that way.
Like a simple question. That's not yeah.
So what are you ultimately doing here?
We are going onward, but we are reactivating the electricity behind us.
Okay.
Hard.
Great minds and all.
Yeah.
That's because I abbreviated Morticia.
Yes.
Yeah, we're also having fun in chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you happen to watch from the future. By the way, welcome from the past.
Yes. Never mind.
Okay, so you all move to the east off of the killing floor. And once everyone is clear, you reactivate the floor by hitting that brick.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right then. And you are free to go on to the north.
Awesome.
We do that.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for whatever interesting things we may find.
Ich habe das gelegt, ich habe Spielsachen auf dem Bett, aber ich habe hier alles Platz noch gelassen.
Okay.
Door locks, a father's friend.
Yep. So anyway.
Mm-hmm. You continue on through this corridor to the north.
Right.
It continues on, and well, it goes on for about 50 or 60 more feet, and then it splits. Actually, the nicely finished corridor just suddenly peters out. There are a few bricks laid in as a suggestion that the wall texture is changing, but then you have this rough-hewn stone passage going two different directions. 145 degrees to the left and 145 degrees to the right.
Ihr hört eigentlich der, wo der Fußabweg ist.
Mama.
Nico.
Sicher? Na gut.
That's on ahead.
Okay. So,
Er will das so lange haben.
Well, Warren has started going left.
Warren has already claimed the left
Okay.
and goes slowly tromping off in that direction.
so the choices are follow him or split the party.
No.
Yes.
I also wanted to go left, so I follow him and I
Yep.
show you.
But well,
Come with
I
me.
don't need more lore
The
that
wizard beckons. Yeah.
Yes, I follow.
Okay. Everyone's going off to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you go that way, and there is another sort of split in the corridor. Both of them go slightly downward. Actually, one goes west and slightly downward, one goes north and slightly downward. But
Also
then,
left.
Okay, go. Well, hang on.
Hang on. Okay.
Okay.
Know which one they
Yeah.
came from.
There are a few splits here. It goes west and down, north and down. There is one going off to the northeast that is more or less remaining flat, and I need to check something. I'll just roll a few dice here and see. What are your perceptions?
Perception 12.
Anyway. Can you get my dice, please?
I'm going to call this an actual roll, since I guess you're actively listening for, actively looking or listening for any. Oh yeah, Coy okay. Warren gets a 22.
So
you said Argyle had a 12.
No, I said 12 is the passive one.
Okay.
So
No.
I've just sort of made rules for everybody. What's okay?
Stop! Stop it! Go away.
Oh, no, that's 13.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, 18.
Yay.
Okay. Okay, I think all of you will be able to hear panicked splashing off to the northeast.
Something thrashing in water.
Something thrashing in water.
Uh-huh.
No. Panicked. Well.
Oh, that's not good.
So we have to look what's going on.
Okay. So I guess you're going to the northeast then.
Yes. That's our job as heroes.
Yep. See if it's somebody we need to help, or see if we need to help them drown.
No, not on the back.
You shall investigate kill, Coy. Okay. You go in about 30 feet, and you come to, let's see, it's about a 20 by 30 room. The first 10 feet in the 30 dimension is a normal, yeah, you have a 10 by 20 section of normal looking room. But then you have a 20 by 20 section that looks like a pool set in the other half of the room. And there is someone out there sort of splashing around and looks like making no traction to your side of the room. Young woman at that.
Uh-huh.
So we had a split left, right, and then we have a 3 fork, and we went right.
Mm-hmm.
And there we found a room that's 2/3 a pool.
And has its own complimentary drowning victim.
Okay. Then let's... Does anybody want to jump in and save the drowning victim?
Okay, she sees the bunch of you. She sort of reaches out one hand, but then is pulled under as she
What?
reaches.
Oh.
Now, it looks like she's still splashing around just under the surface. But if you're avoiding drowning, that's still not a good place to be.
Uh-huh.
When you ask if somebody wants to jump in, I'm just kind of like...
I'm gonna charge in and try and drag it ashore.
Okay, so the wasteland. Yeah, swimming would be an athletics check.
And I'm a wasteland kid, so I don't even know how to swim, probably.
Yeah.
But I do have athletics, though.
We don't know how deep it is yet. Maybe you can stand inside it.
Oh, okay. So Thagak and Warren are both jumping into this pool where this woman is sort of splashing around, panicked.
Okay, I got an 18 total.
Okay.
I'm kind of sitting there like, oh, is this what people do when somebody's in trouble like this? Fascinating.
Well, the best sort of people.
She says, standing on dry land next to them.
Yes,
Well,
very.
my feet are I get enough, like, close enough that my feet are sort of getting wet now. But
Okay, you're right there at the edge.
yeah, but I'm kind of like, interesting. But I'm not like jumping in.
Right.
I don't have athletic. I mean, I could. I'm always willing to roll something I don't have. But I always, but I feel like this works into her not really understanding people thing.
Right. The Wastelanders, I noticed, jumped right in. The civilized folk are waiting off at shore.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. Very interesting in this case because, Warren with his higher athletic. Well, no, Thagak gets there first with his superior athletics roll. Warren does come close behind, and you help her up with one arm as you start paddling your way back to shore at about the time Warren gets there, and I guess you're both looking for threats in the water, things that are pulling you back down.
Right.
Okay, it's about that time that the woman sort of looks at you appreciatively, whispers to you, "Thank you and welcome." And then the water starts draining out of the pool.
What the hell?
Indeed.
That's interesting.
It is.
That's really interesting.
The water level is dropping in the pool pretty quickly, 10 feet, 20 feet. And as you're descending, it looks like there are weights that are...
Wait, they're descending?
They're descending. Yeah, the water level in the pool is sinking very quickly, as if someone opened a drain.
And from outside the water, how does that look? Is this does it get steadily deeper?
No, it is a sharp drop off into the pool.
Oh.
And as the water is descending, it looks like there are floats that are no longer being held aloft, and as they are not the way I would have phrased it, Coy.
Oh my goodness. Let's not read that out loud while we're live.
Just do it.
Coy said,
Go ahead,
as you're
Jimmy.
descending like a testicle on a warm and sunny day beneath the kilt of a majestic warrior Celt.
Ladies and gentlemen, my players.
Yeah. Your players.
Yes. Now, okay. Here's the scary part about this descent, as if being in a rapidly draining pool hanging onto a woman isn't bad enough. As you're going down, floats have the tension released on them, and as they do, blades snap out at various angles in the shaft above you.
Above, so between us, then.
Yes.
Wait, so the water starts descending before we get the chance to get her out of the pool?
Right.
Okay.
So
and Warren and Thagak are essentially riding the rapidly descending water level down into depths unknown.
But we can stay away from the blades, huh?
Yes, you can, because they're not folding out until you get about 10 feet below them.
Oh.
The blades are just there, so we two cannot follow you easily.
Oh, that's going to be problematic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm standing like on the shore, like pointing down and looking at Argyle, going, Argyle, what do we do? Argyle.
Whoa! I was just going to take the broom, but with those blades, is there room to go at a in an area when there are no blades, or are they effectively
I guess
blocking the
there's
whole
about
room?
I guess there is about a 10 by 10 square in the center that does not have any such interference.
Okay,
Right.
10 by 10 is okay.
Unless you can fly. Yes.
Yeah, I take the broom and offer Saria a lift.
Mm-hmm.
And we are descending with the broom in the area where there are no blades.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything we can do about those blades? Not really.
You would have to lift up. Boy. Yeah, there are 3 or 4 blades attached. Each 3 or 4 blades is attached to a different float. The only way you could really get the blades out of the way is by filling the corridor with water again.
Okay. So then we are descending.
Yes, you are.
After the primary testicle.
Yeah. What's the woman doing?
The woman is just hanging on to you.
Uh-huh.
It is, if any. Well, give me an insight check.
Uh-huh. Insight. Oh, let me just switch to my character sheet. Insight. Uh-huh. Okay. So that's a total of +4 there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 18.
18. There is something off about her, but she does seem genuinely happy to see you.
Yeah. What kind of teeth does she have? Take a look.
Oh, flat, very human looking. But then again, you're flying down on a broom in a shaft filled with knives. I'm going to need you to make an athletics check for me.
The last 20 feet of the corridor are heavily soundproofed.
Yeah.
An athletics check.
Yeah, because, okay, yeah, Thagak and Warren have it easy. All they have to do is float down. Yeah. Argyle and Saria are riding down a shaft that routinely have knives popping out from the sides.
Okay, so do we both need to roll?
No. Well, wait. We are waiting until the blades are already there, and we are slowly descending. We are not trying to catch up with the others. We're just following.
Okay.
So we are taking our time.
I'll give you advantage on the roll then.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Do we both need to roll?
Only the guy flying the broom does.
That's me. So what do I have here? I rolled a 14 and
okay. 14 on one die or both dice?
On the better die.
Okay, the better die has a 14.
And I have Dex +1. That's 15.
That's a 15? Okay. You can handily avoid the...
You know.
So.
It just gets better and better.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you could see chat, you'd probably turn this video off. Yeah.
There comes a point when it's either join in or just sit there and be useless.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so Warren and Thagak,
we float down the water till we get to the bottom.
Float down the water till you get to the bottom. In the last 30 or so feet, the woman herself sort of dissolves into the water, and the water just sinks into the floor.
Oh, shoot. I was going to say, so you come here often?
Given that she appears to be part of the shaft and the water, I'd have to say the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Anyway, so
Yeah, that last 30 feet has no knives or anything, and at the moment it also has no water or woman in it. In fact, there's a sort of coming from both Thagax and Warren's clothes as the water itself discorporates and leaves them on a dry floor.
yeah,
Mind you, it's a bare 20 by 20 room,
that's convenient.
and Thagak and Saria just sort of drift down on the broom.
You
And-
mean Argyle and sorry.
Argyle and Saria, pardon me. And in the north wall, there is a sort of, pardon me, northeast wall.
Mhm.
There is a sort of sliding as a slab of rock moves toward you a little bit and then slides off to the side, revealing another corridor
Ah, nice.
To the northeast.
to the northeast.
Morality test.
Hmm.
Yeah, this reminds me very little of the story of the, but never mind. It's a morality test, the point is.
Mhm.
Morality test or broom test, because if you don't have the morals, you need the broom.
You better have the avionics, yeah. Yeah.
Or some knife-proof gauntlets and boots and climb down.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
New corridor then.
New corridor.
All right. Now we'll have to see what other kinds of tests are there. I expect there'll be tests of like courage or ingenuity or something.
Mhm.
Spirituality, tests of other qualities.
Mhm. At least she was not a threat. That's
Right.
a good thing.
I'm just glad, like, you know, you guys weren't deposited onto like a tongue or something, and the knives didn't end up being teeth. Like,
Right.
for a minute there, that's where I thought he was going, and I was like, shit.
Yeah. But it all turned out all right in the end.
Well,
On this occasion.
Wow.
depends on where we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Right.
think we are on the right track.
You don't think or do think?
I do think, because
Mm-hmm.
who would put something like that on the wrong track?
True, and you've seen the secret corridor that goes around the electrical killing floor, so you must be doing something right.
Hmm. Okay, let's see where this leads.
Oh, you know who you didn't bring down with you?
Yeah, the other three.
Well, the
Yes.
other three and Father Walter.
Yeah.
True.
Well, you got the broom.
Party.
That's true. I got the broom.
You can maneuver up and bring them down one at a time.
Or maybe we can get these knives away. They are probably sharp only from if you come from the upside and go down.
I look around for a way to retract the knives.
If you come
You
up,
don't see anything like that in the you don't see anything like that in
Well-
the vertical column
I guess we're SOL.
at the moment.
Well,
Are you leaving that dark stone?
well, it may take some time, but should we wait for Argyle to use the broom to go up and bring to ferry people back?
Well, that's up to you.
Oh,
Meanwhile, the door is open to this new corridor.
Mhm.
I think I'm going to fetch them.
So let's see, that's what? Matt, Shu, James, and then
Matt, Shu, James, Walter, and Carol.
Carol.
Wait, who's
Either that or
Carol?
They don't come down for some reason because their players aren't here.
Right.
Kinda
Who's-
like
Who's
seven.
Carol?
That's one.
Carol is Saphir's lackey.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's 5 trips.
Yeah, and you're part of the way up on the first trip when you, at the bottom, hear that stone door that opened to let you out of this pit.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's just jump.
Okay, so Argyle, you're settling back to the bottom of the pit as quickly as you can, so you can
Yes.
get back through that door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be another athletics test. This time, not with advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
This could be problematic.
Okay. That's this time it's 14.
Okay, 14.
14. First time
Yeah.
was 15. Now it's
First
14.
time was 15. Now it's 14 because you're in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
And this time you're coming down. You feel the broom bump a little bit on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And then it gets cut in half by a knife.
Maybe not cut in half, but that trip did feel a little rougher coming down the second time than it did the first.
Uh-huh.
And that descent ended up being a little faster than you anticipated.
The magic's weakening.
Is it still there, the magic?
Yeah, it is still there, but the broom doesn't feel quite as right flying.
Okay.
It's running out of juice.
Maybe it's just it got nicked or something. Maybe if I repair it.
Magic field, or maybe it has a reservoir of energy and flying uses it up. And
Then that wouldn't have a thing with the.
Would you like to make an arcane check for me, both of you?
Not yet. First, we go through the door because it's going to close while we are arcaning.
Oh, guess what? My arcana, I don't have that. I'm not trained in that, meaning it's a straight up roll, even up.
Right.
Okay.
With no bonus. So no, I don't think I.
But Argyle, Saria, Warren, and Thagak all and Broom all push through that door before it closes.
Yes.
Behind you.
Then I'm arcaning and getting to 21.
And you, John?
Oh,
What does Thagak get?
I don't actually have that skill, real. I'm not trained in it. I don't know if I can even use it. But if I do, it's with no bonus at all. So I got a 2. Big out of me.
So
I think for every hour you spend flying, you have to spend an hour sweeping dirt on a walkway.
Okay.
Okay, I know a lot of stories that have flying broomsticks in them, but not one of them says anything about how they work.
Yeah, but you often see the people using them to brush dirt away. So maybe you have got something there. But
I
let's see.
I don't need to know how it's made.
So I got 21. What do I think?
You decide whether to tell me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm looking the broom over. Does it have some kind of damage on it? Did I cut it with the with a knife?
Yeah, it looks like some of the bristles have been sort of disturbed.
Uh-huh. I'm going to straighten them out again carefully.
Yeah, you can straighten them out. You can groom the broom all you like, but now it looks like some of them are shorter than the others.
No. Okay. All right. So I cut. Apparently, I lost some of those. What are they called?
Bristles.
The bristles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that needs to be repaired. I either have to make them longer again, or have to cut off the rest. We shall see. Okay, but for the time being, where are we?
So it sounds like they could use some sort of mending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like for example, the mending cantrip, which I have.
Really? You have the mending cantrip? That's great. Could you try it on the broom here?
Page 259. I don't know if it'll handle it. Page Just a moment. Page 259.
I'll be joining you there in just a moment.
Mending. What a useful skill.
Let's see. No larger than 1 foot in any dimension. Can physically repair a magic item or construct, but can't restore magic to such an object.
Okay.
1 minute. Touch. 2 lodestones. Instantaneous.
Yeah. Okay, hang on a second. This is the way we mend a broom, mend a broom, mend a broom. Hard.
Yeah, it takes you 2 or 3 castings, because this is a matter of individual bristles having been snipped.
Oh my God.
Incidentally, it turns out those knives coming down are really freaking sharp.
Okay, so yeah, individual bristles are mended, but it may not restore the. It doesn't really restore the magic, so it probably.
But the magic is still there. It's just the distribution of the magic that is disturbed. So you should.
Okay,
we should be all right.
You know what? That's up to the game master.
It does look better now, but really the proof of the broom is in the flying, so they say.
Yeah. So, well, that'll have to wait, I think.
Right. In the meantime, you're in a corridor facing to the northeast.
Right. You don't want to try flying in an underground tunnel, corridor-sized.
Not yet.
You remember that time in Paranoia when I tested that experimental jetpack?
I remember the incident, yes.
Yes.
Paranoia is another thing this group may one day have to try. Just saying.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm looking forward to that. Okay.
The question is which edition. There are so many now.
Yes, but anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're in this northeast corridor of rough-hewn stone. And it proceeds into a room. It appears to be... Yeah, maybe it's just as well Jilly isn't here, because there is a room. You come to a room. You enter from the southwest. In the middle of the room, there is a bowl full of gold coins. And a door currently closed to the northeast.
So, okay, first thing, I think we don't take any coins out of it, out of the bowl.
Yeah. The next test, apparently.
Yes. Unless we want to turn to skeletons every time the moonlight hits us.
Yeah. Or we destroy the magic protecting the village on the hill.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What's about that door?
Okay, the door is a fully iron door set into the wall. There is a door handle and keyhole just below the door handle.
Well, okay, first most obvious thing I can think of is pull out one of my gold coins and add it to the bowl, just to see what happens.
Good idea.
Okay, you add a gold coin to the bowl.
Take out one of my gold coins and drop it in the bowl.
You drop it in the bowl, and it just sort of slides along the other gold coins and just drops off onto the floor.
On the floor?
And but it tosses back my original coin.
It looks like it, yeah.
And it does nothing else come. Okay, well then I'm gonna take that and put it back.
Okay.
To say that ain't it.
So it's so full that everything that you can't add anything.
Yeah, it is a bowl full of gold coins. It is sort of peaked up slightly in the center.
So that the peak at the center is even higher than the rim of the bowl.
Yes.
So what is it standing on?
It is standing on a pedestal. That is, it appears to be carved out of the floor.
Okay, well,
And it does look like there is some sort of mechanism under the bowl in the pedestal.
okay.
So if we take something out,
Like the
it
gold
loses
statue
weight.
in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, the first thought with a setup like this, the first thought, at least the thought that I'm probably supposed to come to first, is that maybe the key is under all those gold coins. But taking the coins out of the bowl is probably a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Put my hands on the rim of the bowl and push down.
Okay, you're pushing down on the sides of the bowl?
Instead of trying to pick the exactly without touching any coins, just see if that does anything.
Okay, it doesn't budge.
Okay, so that's not it. Maybe turn the bowl. You know,
Okay.
it's sitting on top of the mechanism, right?
It's sitting on top of the mechanism, and with a little effort, you can turn the bowl a little bit. How far are you turning it?
Well, I'll just rotate it a quarter turn. I'll rotate it counterclockwise and see if I keep doing that until it clicks, or I turned it all the way around once.
Okay, you get it about a quarter of the way around, no click. You keep going?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wait, stop. I'm just going to try the door. Maybe it's open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God! There's an obvious thought. That would be sneaky. Yeah. Try the door and see if it's actually
Okay. You try the door, and no, it's locked.
Okay.
Oh, damn. That was bad luck. Okay, what about this keyhole? Does it have a special?
I want to use that one sometime.
Does it have a special shape or something?
It just appears to be an ordinary keyhole.
Right.
Did we find a key anywhere? No, we didn't.
Not yet. You haven't.
Tricky.
Well,
incidentally, on the way into this room, you did come across a passage sort of going to the left and angling up. Just to get that little bit of business out of the way.
Right. Maybe the key is like angled away and up.
Let's go take a look.
Maybe the key is elsewhere.
We go take a look in the other direction to see if there's a key rack or something.
Okay, you go up a little bit, and you encounter a small intersection where you're going up to the northwest, and to the west there is another little passage going down, and there's a passage going up over there, and there's a sea creature impaled on a spear.
Oh. Okay. That's different.
Looks like it had just started going down one of the wrong paths, judging by the fact that you just came in through the right one.
Well,
This doesn't look like somewhere we would find the key.
Yeah.
Unless the key is built into the tip of a spear. Maybe not.
So the solution to our riddle is in the room with the gold coins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bowl of gold coins, pedestal, door, handle, key.
Well, is there a hidden door on the pedestal?
You inspect the pedestal. Give me an investigate check.
Oh dear. Investigate.
Still, you're making the attempt. That counts for something.
I don't have investigation.
Oh, I have investigation. Whoa. So let me investigate. Whoa! And we are getting to 25.
You are getting to 25. You can be assured there is no secret door in that pedestal. There is also no secret door anywhere else in this room, floor, wall, or ceiling.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Are any
That
of us carrying
means-
a key of any kind?
Probably.
Let's just try one in the keyhole and see what happens. If it's a standard keyhole, just see if any standard key will work.
Okay, you try a few keys,
Nope.
and nothing works.
Okay.
Okay, if you go on the assumption that the solution has to be somewhere in this room, the only place you could find a solution is probably within the bowl of gold coins.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What's on the what are the images on the coins?
The coins, they appear to be an old minting, similar to those you have found in numerous other places
Right.
around Cephalville,
Right.
from about the 300 to 400 year period.
Right. Okay.
Would it be the pedestal maybe measuring the weight?
Yeah.
Maybe we can put the gold coins. You can put one gold coin beside the thing on the pedestal, and then we can always take one gold coin and take it from the top of the pile and put it beside until we have piled all the gold coins around the...
I piled the gold coins on top of the pedestal around the bowl.
Yes.
Pick up
Okay, the pedestal is smaller than the bowl.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Well, turn the bowl the rest of the way around just to see if a full 360 does anything.
Okay. 180, no. 270, no. 360, no.
Okay, we're back where we started. That ain't it. So yeah, so the question then becomes, is there any, the bowl is so full that there's really no way to see what else besides gold coins is in the bowl without taking coins out of the bowl.
It looks like it would be tricky to do so.
Yeah. Well, tricky to do so, but if you take 20, we still might be able to do it.
That could work if you're willing to take the time to do so.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wait a second. I have a spell that's called Unseen Servant. We could go outside of this room and let the Unseen Servant take out the coins one by one. He's not strong, so he can't lift the whole bowl, but...
I was talking about finding a way to search through the bowl without removing any coins from the bowl.
Won't... It's a pile on top of it, so I don't see how that would be physically possible.
Move the center of the pile out to the edges of the bowl and sort of probe underneath. That would take a long time to do, but I'm willing to take as long as it takes.
We could let the Unseen Servant do that. And so we all don't take the risk.
Well, something tells me that this thing is mystic. If this is some kind of test of I'm not sure what, something tells me that in all the fairy tales I know where there's a test that a person has to do something clever to solve,
it has to be done by the person
he has to do it without making someone else take the risk for him, because the fair folk will always find a way to basically come around and say, here's what we think of Mr. Clever Dick in these parts.
Yeah, okay. Good point.
So,
okay.
You try and outsmart the guardian, the mystical guardian of the whatever, they'll always find a way to make it come around and bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
like with the knives. Mm.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I think the plinth.
Okay. The pillar that the bowl is sitting on is about 8 inches on a side. The base of the bowl is about 8 inches wide. It sticks out about 1.5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
There's no room to stack anything underneath the bowl.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking about moving the coins from the center of the bowl, from the peak of the pile at the center of the bowl out to the edges of the bowl, and just trying to probe underneath very, very patiently. And like I say, okay, my dexterity bonus is +1. I'm taking 20.
Okay, so you are taking a long and careful time to do this.
Okay, you guys have a nap. This will take a while.
Okay.
Okay, so you start picking up coins and, well, you start picking up a few coins at a time, moving them to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Thagak and Warren both are sort of picking up coins, organizing them better, moving them to the side.
Yes. Right.
Very, very carefully digging down through the pile of gold, so you don't spill off any coins. And yeah, this is kind of annoying, painstaking work, but after maybe about 10-15 minutes, you do see a bit of something down there that isn't gold.
Aha. So try and hook a finger on that, or maybe just thumb and forefinger, and then just
sort of tease it out gently, and it appears to be a key.
Okay.
Wow.
Woot.
Then just sort of scatter the coins back to the middle of the bowl.
Okay.
And then, okay. And I imagine it would take longer than 10 or 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe closer to a half hour.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Anyway, okay. Good-o.
Wow.
Yeah, so here we go. Who wants the honor?
Well, I think
maybe it's the danger. I don't know. It's like being ridden out of town on a rail, you know. If it weren't for the honor of the thing, I'd rather walk. Anyway, so
yeah, I think you found the key. It was your idea.
Okay.
Did anybody ask how the rail feels about this?
Well, yeah, when they say on a rail, what they mean is, take a section of picket fence and force somebody to ride it horsey style, carry it out of town. Usually tarred and feathered first. That's how it was done, and it
So,
I think
because
if it weren't for the honor of the thing, I'd rather walk.
Okay, so if you want to open it, open it. If you don't want to open it, give it to me and I'll do it for you. But the honor is yours alone.
I'm fine opening it, but okay then. But I don't want to be greedy. Okay, stick, clunk.
Okay, the key fits in the lock. It turns.
Clunk.
Mm-hmm. You can feel it unlock.
Yeah.
And you can pull the door open.
Uh-huh.
And as you get the first few inches open, the key just sort of out of your hand.
And the coins sort of go ching.
And the coins just sort of into a pile the way they were.
Wow.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
I figured as much. Did a hard reset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we get the thing open.
So let's open the door and see what's outside.
There is more corridor beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And I admit to having, I'm not sure how much more dungeon I can fill in today. At some point there, I think just for dramatic purposes, there needs to be a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Fight.
Well, you know what? It would make a nice change of pace if there weren't one. Damn.
Well, so far we haven't.
Not as you're going this direction.
Yes.
Maybe the others, meanwhile, have a big fight on top of that pool thing.
Oh yeah, and that whole looking for traps thing. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, there was one member of a gaming party that I was part of years back. Dave remembers this too. There's a guy we pretty much decided his nickname was Trap Finder. Eventually, we said he'll take point because if there's a trap out there, we know he's going to find it anyway.
We tie him to the end of the 10-foot pole.
Okay. So
let's see where this leads.
Right. So I'm not sure what was being tested there. Was it finesse or lack of greed or something?
Both of them.
Yeah. One or the other, or either and neither or both.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell since you didn't actually set it off.
Right.
You could go back and set it off.
No.
You know what? I think I'm content leaving it a mystery.
Okay, then. Yeah. Looks like the door will open easily from the other side. There is a mechanism you can move to unlock the door, at least temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you continue on that northeast path.
Mm-hmm.
And you, come into...
What myths and legends, superstitions, and folks' tales give Northeast a special significance?
Give me a history check.
Give me a dice check. Let me see. Yes, history. Let me see.
Or would you like me to roll it for you, knowing how I roll?
Well, let's see. History. Okay, so that's 17.
The ranger actually did better, apparently.
Yeah.
Whoa. And I may need to change out this chair at last. It's getting mushy on me.
Oh.
I know.
I wonder what the next one is, because we have helping people in need, not being greedy. What's the next one?
Okay, you're actually coming into, well, it's a largish room with upended bookcases and okay, it's a small library, it looks like, except that you can see where someone has been through and treated it most unkindly.
What?
Rude.
Mm-hmm.
Books are scattered around. Any of them damaged?
Books are scattered around. Some of them are torn.
Okay.
Argyle's like,
Okay, first thing we do is books that are intact, we try and figure out where they're supposed to go and put them there. The torn ones, I'm going to look and see if there's anything. You
can mend them. You can mend them. You mending.
It's a cantrip.
You mending maniac, you.
Yep.
Yeah, you beautiful bastard.
That is going to be a lot of castings of that cantrip, and watching pages occasionally go flutter, flutter, flutter.
Well, first we have to figure out which pages go in which books. We don't want to get them in the wrong ones.
Yes, so we have to order them.
Yes, you had a superhero character who had an origin like that.
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was really something. He was he had a character who had mystical talent in martial arts, and he went to the library and checked out a book of martial arts. But the librarian, who had been really rushed, had repaired the book, had pages torn out. He'd repaired it and had been so rushed and in such a bad mental state that he didn't notice that he was accidentally putting pages from a book on origami into the middle of a martial arts book. And Dave's character actually had mystical abilities and didn't realize it. So he learned origami as a martial art. He folded a katana out of out of paper and wielded it with. Yes.
And those little throwing swans really hurt.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So, is there anything else in that room apart from the destroyed or damaged books?
Candelabra knocked over, maybe.
Candelabra is knocked over. Candles partially eaten.
And what are the books about?
They appear to be old tomes on. Actually, looking through this, you can find books that are at least 400, 500 years old, written in languages you don't immediately understand.
Okay, now if taking the books means we fail some kind of test, I don't have a good feeling. That's going to be tough to avoid.
We have to, first of all, we have to repair them. That's a
I'm not going to. Yes. Okay.
So,
first, we got to make sure we don't get the wrong pages in the wrong books.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume you'll be taking a 20 on your library sciences.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what skill would be used.
Probably.
Oh, mend. I thought you said men.
Yeah, mending.
Hey,
is,
I have that.
You have mending too. Great.
Oh.
Yeah, Saria and Thagak can both reassemble books.
Yeah, and I can investigate which pages go to which books.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sensing a lot of 20s and attaching of pages together. By the way, it doesn't look like mending works if the two objects really don't belong together, so that makes the job a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to assemble books incorrectly by accident, unless you really, really try.
So you cannot use mending as a weapon. That's
right.
Good to know too.
That is good.
Okay, so
yeah, mending would be mending would be a bad weapon, like cure wounds would be a bad weapon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cure wounds should actually work as a weapon
if you reverse the spell. I'm talking about the original form.
So,
like I said, you find books in here that are 500, 600, 700 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you could expand your history knowledge in here.
Yeah, great. Let's do that. We could stay here. Start a new life with these books.
There are a few inscriptions on the walls over some of the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, overturning the straightening up the shelves as you are.
Mm-hmm.
You do find one shelf pulled out a bit, and it looks like there is a bit of corridor behind that. You don't actually have to keep reassembling books, although that would just be a very neighborly thing to do because, library.
I'm going to, yes. I say we leave the place in better shape than we found it.
Which you already have done.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, okay, the lore seeker in me, just something about the thought of leaving the books damaged, torn up behind me hurts. Now, maybe not reshelf all of them, but at least stack them neatly after we fix them.
Mm-hmm.
And if we see a spot on the shelves that looks like where a particular book belongs, why not put it there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except if there are books with spells in them. In that case, I think I'll borrow them for the time being and bring them back if and when the opportunity arises.
Tell you what, I'll give that a chance. Not this trip, sorry.
Okay.
You do find various books of stories, Looks like some fiction, non-fiction. It may be, you may need to read a bit before you can discern truly which is which.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or the past was a really wild place.
Yeah. Well, on the way out, can we linger here while I browse a bit?
Sure. And yeah, you can also borrow something here. We can make a library card and put it in place of the books and say rented histories of the empire to return until, and then a date, something like that.
Now that you mention that, looking around a bit, you do find a desk that has slips of paper and tokens on it.
Uh-huh. So?
Yeah, how overdue is this library book? Well, the due date is in a different dating system. You don't want to know about the fines. Yeah.
Better just leave it in front of the door and ring and then run away, so they find the book and can return it.
Dare you face the night depository? Yeah.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. So we have a list of books.
Yeah, you've all, I assume, been perusing this library.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like each of you to make a perception check for me.
Okay.
To roll what? To
perception.
Perception.
Just see if you notice something.
16.
And once again, I fail to notice the oncoming train.
It's not an oncoming train. What did you get?
I just stand there in the middle of 3.
Okay.
I stand there in the middle of the street and I say, "Oh look, a bus!"
It's actually Koi that will notice this first.
Right.
Considering this whole complex appears to be dedicated to the wardens of Gillagius, there are no religious texts here.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. They probably keep them somewhere else.
Or maybe they are all taken out, and that's where the paper slips are for.
Huh.
And yeah, it looks like, yeah, you could note which books you borrow.
Right.
Hmm.
And then there is that passage going out the other side.
Okay.
Well,
So
I think we've got it about as nice as we can. And I'm betting that as soon as we leave, it'll turn into a mess again.
in that case, why not take out some nice books of history right now and leave the slips of paper in their place?
With our name.
Yes.
Not a bad idea.
And leave some kind of token to indicate something or other.
Yes.
Especially anything about animals in here.
There are.
Oh my.
Great.
Oh,
So I guess we're let's see. I'm guessing Argyle is taking 1 or 2 books on the ancient arcane arts.
Mm-hmm.
Saria is taking 1 or 2 ancient field guides.
Uh-huh.
Thagak is taking books on history and song.
Yep.
And Warren?
About craft.
Crafting. Okay. You're going to have some stuff to talk with Jody Newbury about when you return, I guess.
Okay.
And
then we
I
move
guess
on.
each of you leaving with a couple of books as you step out into that corridor beyond the other end of the library. Your packs do not get mysteriously lighter.
Uh-huh.
Great.
And you can.
We left our tokens, so everything is in order, and we didn't steal anything.
Seems to be. Technically, it's still borrowing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are very respectful of it.
And you continue along the corridor, which does stretch for another 70 or 80 feet.
Mhm.
And you come to a single door in the left-hand side of the corridor.
Uh-huh.
A single door. What does it look like, the door?
It is a finished wooden door, plain handle, no lock.
Well, we've come this far.
Mhm.
I'm always one to indulge in the sunk cost fallacy.
The corridor continues to the northeast, but you have this doorway leading to the northwest,
Well,
Hmm.
which you can't see down because door.
We
Right.
could peek through it.
Mhm.
Okay, you
Yeah.
peek in,
Well,
and
on the other hand, maybe the test is to see whether we get distracted from the path we were following.
and we do.
Eh.
well, if you choose to. What are you doing here?
Taking a peek. I think we should.
Okay, you take a peek in there. The chairs have been overturned. There are two racks with two rack-style candle holders that are overturned and do not have any candles in them.
Mhm.
There is a cabinet by the door. Those are the basic details. 7 or 8 chairs, 2 candelabras, 1 cabinet by the door.
Mhm.
Candles, little squat candles sort of strewn all over.
So maybe it's a save point before we continue.
I think that's one more place where those mysterious thrasher who destroyed stuff came in. Let's take a look into that cabinet. Maybe there's something in there. Is anyone in that room?
There is nobody in that room.
Let's take a look.
Okay. You do step in. You open the cabinet. Looks like there are more candles in there, of the same sort of squat types, and there is a flint you can use to make fire with, and there is a book.
What kind of book?
The book is a book on rites of the Wardens of Gillagius.
Oh.
And there are a few spells in here. It looks like they're intended for ritual casting from the scrolls, so they're not used.
Mhm.
Yeah, there is one of those. Let me make sure I get the name right.
Steve. Right.
Commune with dead.
Oh.
Oh.
So the opposite of gentle repose.
Uh-huh. It's
All right.
for talking to the founders of the church and getting advice.
Okay, that book goes in the pack. So several spells you said. What other spells are there?
Let's see. Most of them would be clerical in nature. So let's pick a few from the list. let's see. Guidance, bless, aid.
What was the first one before bless?
Guidance.
Guidance. Guidance, bless, aid. Okay.
So there are a number of spells here which appear to have well, generally positive effects. Plus that one that doesn't look exactly standard, commune with dead.
Yeah, but it can also be used for good things.
Yeah, has verbal and semantic components. Requires the name of the individual you want to contact. And there is, in fact, a name written into the book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Which name?
Darius Invictus Melitoc.
Oh. Invictus.
Darius Invictus Melitoc.
Invictus, of course, meaning unconquered. Or maybe it's unconquerable.
Darius Invictus Melitoc. Okay.
Well, you've got a commune with dead ritual, and we got somebody here who's, you know, dead.
Well, and we have at this place where this book is a couple of overturned chairs. So maybe last time someone tried to talk to that guy.
Warren has been going around straightening up the chairs, and you actually notice, Warren, that one of the chairs has less padding than the others.
Oh. For the ghost. For the dead.
Right.
Well, this is something that I've never seen done before. I would be fascinated to see it done.
Well, we could try it.
I'm never against new knowledge.
Okay, let's. But do we have a clear question we want to ask of Melitoc? Because that would be crazy if we would call him and then wouldn't know what to talk about.
Well, the duration on that is about... Okay, the duration on the spell as it's written there is about 10 minutes.
Right.
So,
Chat.
what would we want to know?
Well, we're going. Who is it that we're fighting right now? We're going after what? Followers of Gillagius, or
Okay. Well, the wardens of Gillagius want to stop him from getting loose. The other faction wants to let him loose.
Oh, okay.
The warriors, the wardens versus the followers of Gillagius.
Followers. Okay, so I guess the followers are who we're ultimately trying to stop here.
And to kind of answer Koi's question, Gillagius is already stopped, but he's still providing power to his worshippers, both for and against. Curious, that.
Something tells me he's kind of conflicted.
Interesting.
Actually, we could ask him what he wants. That would throw him a curveball. Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're resetting the room manually, loading up the racks with candles, and setting up the chairs in the appropriate places. I guess you're putting the 7 padded chairs around the one chair that lacks the essential padding.
Cool. That's gonna be fun.
But we are only 4 people. I think does the ritual state a number of people that are required?
No, it does not.
It does not. Okay, great. So we'd only need 4 chairs in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
We stack the others neatly in a corner. and then we do the ritual.
Okay. The wizard casts shiny red button. No,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shiny red. Commune with dead.
You take your seats around the. You take your seats, I guess, except for Argyle, who has to stand and gesticulate a bit for this spell to work.
Mm-hmm.
There are words, there are funny gestures. You don't need any more than the candles, though, so that's lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'm asking Darius Invictus Malatok to come and visit us.
You're basically asking him for an audience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there comes a point when you cast any spell where you sort of get past a tipping point and the rest of it sort of comes out on its own.
Right. Where once you've raised enough energy, you don't raise that much energy without something happening. So if you don't finish the spell, something's going to happen, but maybe not what the spell does.
Right. In this particular case, it feels like the spell is almost being pulled out when you're getting near the end of it. And after a moment, a few of the other candles light up with a ghostly greenish glow. The one is still burning yellow, which is odd. But the rest of the candles light up green, and they're sort of flickering into existence. In the chair in the center of the circle, there is a fellow in funerary robes. Sort of looking at you all.
Awesome.
With a bit of appreciation and a bit of confusion. And
Mm-hmm. Am I addressing the one known as Malatok?
Yes, you are.
It's an honor.
Thank you. I did not expect the spell to feel quite this way. From this side, that is.
Well,
I've seen you have come from all over.
A number of different places.
Yes.
I'm a wastelander boy myself, but you know, what can I say?
Terrible business, that.
Well, maybe we'll talk about that sometime. But
I hope we have the opportunity.
Well,
you're on the right course to do so, though. So keep it up.
As we do, though. So I don't know how much you're aware of, but briefly,
I saw you making repairs in the library. No, that does not fix itself. Thank you, and go ahead and borrow those books for as long as you need.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Anyway, the followers of Gillagius are around.
Yes, there is a representative of them ahead. Continue down the corridor. You will encounter the last chamber before my workshop. It's important he does not get in there.
Okay, certainly. Right. Well, we'd better get going soon then. You know, another weird thing is what tipped us off something was going off was when it started raining very slightly salty water.
Yeah, that is a hallmark of some of Gillagius's effects.
Yes. Well, anyway, any advice you can give us before we head on out there and see what we can do?
You do not need to get into the workshop. All you really have to do is keep him from getting into it himself.
Okay.
All right.
Would you recommend we not try afterwards? Because curiosity, you know.
I know curiosity. I know it can lead to terrible things.
Yeah.
Would you prefer us to not even look in there.
If you can find a way to calm the storm after he is dealt with, I would not object. That is one of the reasons my workshop is still intact to begin with.
All right, then.
So the information there could help future generations.
Right. Well, in that, we'll bear that in mind then.
What is it, do you think, that Gillagius wants? I mean,
freedom.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be set free from the maelstrom that is keeping him contained at the bottom of the sea.
Even though some of his followers are trying to keep that from happening?
Well, there is a paradox about Gillagius. There are those who serve him in order to free him.
Uh-huh.
There are others who serve him in order to keep him contained,
right,
and keep the world relatively safe. In its own perverse way, he is fed by the conflict. There is a certain necessary level of chaos that cannot be expunged from the world without causing incredible harm.
I see.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Thank you.
That gives me so many ideas for songs, but not now. All right, then.
Is there anything else we can do for you?
For me? Well, I don't have as many needs as I used to, so off the top of my head, I would say no. On the other hand, I do like what you're doing with that library.
Well,
okay.
If I have the time, I'll see if I can touch it up on the way back.
This tomb was originally, well, this is not just a tomb, obviously. It is also a temple to the wardens of Gillagius. And as such, it has a number of things: the museum, the viewing room that you're in now. And it was all sort of built up around the workshop. I was one of the later wardens to be entombed after the cataclysm.
Yes. Wow. Well,
and I am honored to be counted among them.
It seems to me we need to. I would love to stay and talk more, but it seems to me we need to get moving, because we've got to get to him before he gets into the gets through the door.
Right.
So
I will say one thing. Like I said, you need to keep him from quelling the storm before you quell it yourself in order to get into the workshop, if you really feel you need to you must.
Right. Okay, so
there was someone else long ago who had a, well, I'd call it a chaotic idea, but certainly a valid one, to wrest control of the storm from the effect that is currently driving it. That would work to prevent him from getting in. It would even be a useful asset in his defeat.
I
do not remember all of the details, though. Something about an alchemical transfusion and something in the water.
Yes, we were thinking, the water, it's not salty enough to be seawater, but it might be salty enough to be tears.
That is not an inappropriate metaphor.
Okay.
I mean, confinement for that long has to make one sad.
Well, yes.
But in this case, it is necessary. You do not want a force like that roaming the earth.
Right. Well, unless someone can think of something more to say, I suppose we ought to get going then.
Yeah, get going and stop.
Thank you for your efforts. And one other thing I should apologize for. The current sovereign of the town above At some point, it may be worthwhile for her to get into the workshop.
Oh,
Hmm.
you're not talking about that horrid woman, are you?
No, the actual sovereign.
About
Oh.
the daughter, whatever.
Oh, the daughter.
Candace.
Oh, okay.
The one who saw the one who saw a ghost telling her that she had a legacy.
Oh.
Yes, that is her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we could
You may have a reason to get through the storm after all.
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Well,
But not until the threat not until the threat of someone getting into it first is eradicated, please.
let's
Okay.
let's deal with Mr. What's his name first before
Yeah.
we.
Let's
Yes.
eradicate the threat and then
Hmm.
take it from there.
Take care of the immediate threat, and then we can decide what to do. Okay, then.
Thank you.
Hmm.
It may be a
Oh, we
while
thank you.
before it may be a while before we talk again, but this was pleasant.
Yes, I hope we have more time to talk later on. But till then,
2 warnings about this particular spell. You can transcribe it and use it, but make sure you have the accurate, full name of the person you want to talk to. Otherwise, you will typically get something else.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Second, there is a cooldown time on the spell of about a year.
So once a year at most. Otherwise, once again, you get a wrong number.
Yes, please.
Hmm.
Okay, then. I just sort of going by the calendar. I say no sooner than this day next year.
Yes. You do not need to contact me then. I am used to not having visitors these days. But if you feel you must, or you seek guidance from someone who understands storms, I will be here.
Okay. Bye-bye, all.
All right. Then
Thank you.
Goodbye for now.
Later,
good
Gabe.
night.
And he vanishes out of the chair, leaving the room in a sense of quiet and peace. And all those green burning candles just snuff out, leaving the one yellow one burning.
And then we quietly.
Exactly. Extinguish it, and we have a date apparently.
Right. In the meantime,
Or 3.
Hmm.
we've got one actually for as soon as we can get to the end of the corridor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then.
And I think we're going to stop broadcast there.
Cool. Bye-bye.
Goodbye
Okay.
for now.